Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from Mattel. In their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Batman. Okay, so the figure we're looking at right now is an older action figure. I believe it was from, I want to say 2019. Alright, so back in 2019, it was the last leg of Mattel's tenure on holding on to the DC license. This figure in particular was celebrating 80 years of Batman. It features the DC Comics Originals stamp in the corner. And I think for the most part, this line was just kind of dedicated at this point to just, producing Batman-centric characters, some of them being kind of like evergreen designs or some of the more memorable versions of Batman and his rogue gallery. The Batman that's featured right here is clearly inspired by the '89 Michael Keaton Batman, and the dead giveaway is the costume, the very specific '89 utility belt, the grappling gun, and even though the artwork here is more reflective of like the DC Comics inspired Batman, this is definitely '89 Batman, sans the likeness of actor Michael Keaton. If you're a fan of Mattel's DC Classics Universe line, this is probably something that, it might make you sad in some ways because, like I said, this was kind of like on the last legs of Mattel's run on the DC figures. And like I said, this line was really focused more so on like some of the Batman characters. I think this is really inspired by the '89 Jack Nicholson Joker, even though it looks nothing like him, because of licensing reasons. And of course, we get a Poison Ivy figure, which, in my opinion, we don't get enough of. Poison Ivy is always kind of overlooked in the action figure realm. Granted, they do make a bunch of statues of Ivy, but she doesn't get the same kind of love like Harley Quinn does. There's so many Harley Quinn figures, and unfortunately, Poison Ivy doesn't get as many. And in my opinion, she's just as important as a character. And I'm trying to figure out how to open this box without obliterating it because I don't know if I want to keep this in the box or if I want to display it loose, because I do have a fondness for the Mattel stuff. I have a small collection of mint on card Mattel figures, just because I kind of feel the need to like catalog that period of time. I was a big fan of the Mattel era of DC figures. Likewise, I was also a fan of like the Hasbro and Kenner stuff too. So for me to kind of preserve this is, I think it's kind of, this style of action figure has a very special place in my heart. Even though the McFarlane stuff is amazing, there's just something about the Mattel stuff that really speaks to me. All right, so we have the '89 Batman produced by Mattel, and another dead giveaway also is that the card back is also kind of a throwback to the old '89 Toy Biz figures with the gold and the dotted moire pattern. And then the cape is, I don't know why Mattel does this. They do this even like with their Barbie dolls. They kind of like punch the cloth accessories onto the cardboard. So as you can see, it's attached. Let's remove this without damaging the cape. There we go. And then we have in terms of the accessories, I'm just going to leave it in the tray for now. We have the '89 grapple gun on the right, and also the Batarang, which comes with a little piece of rope. And it looks like also it looks like you could tab the Batarang and the rope onto the grapple gun. Let me take a look real quick if that's the case. Yeah, because the grapple gun, there's a little hole right there, and then you could peg in the hook and cable right there. So that plugs into there. which is it was a really cool play feature. It was nice of Mattel to go that extra distance and provide us that. Wow, that guy, he did not want to come out of the box. Alright, so we have the 89 inspired Mattel DC Universe Classics Multiverse action figure. Everything about this figure is beautiful except the head. The head, it's almost a it's almost a crime because the head clearly looks like it's inspired by Batman the Animated Series. He has such a big lantern jaw, and even the eyes really screams out Animated Series. But if you covered the head, the body is really the 89 Michael Keaton Batman. It's a weird figure. Yeah, so, man, the head isn't the greatest. The sculpting on the head, I mean, it's fair, but, you know, I think to avoid like legal issues and stuff, you know, it looks nothing like Michael Keaton. It's not even labeled as being the 89 Batman. It's just more so if you know, you know. And, you know, that's clearly the 89 utility belt and the costume. And this style of figure, even though it came out in 2019, it's very dated and antiquated in terms of the engineering and style. It's on par kind of more so with like a basic Marvel Legends figure. For example, you know, here's Vulcan from the Marvel Legends X-Men wave. And the engineering is very similar. You can see the ab crunch is done the same. You know, same kind of cuts on the thighs. So this style of engineering, you know, it's very basic. It's nothing like Mattel's Movie Masters, which I think is an astounding action figure line. You know, the difference is like night and day. And, you know, these are produced by the same company. The only thing is that the Movie Masters, even though it's a 6-inch scale, it's a little bit on the shorter side. And then here he is next to the McFarlane Batman, which I'm always fond of showing off. You know, a really short figure. But it's a decent figure. You know, if you could find it for a decent price, I'd say pull the trigger. You know, it's Mattel's last hurrah in the world of DC, and it's kind of nice of them to honor Batman on his 80th birthday by producing some Batman-centric characters. You know, everyone kind of has a fondness for the Michael Keaton Batman, you know, myself included. And articulation, it's very, you know, like I said, it's very basic. It's all the bells and whistles from a 6-inch action figure are there. You know, it's what you expect. One reason why I purchased this figure also is because I kind of want to put this figure inside of the McFarlane Batmobile, even though it's a lot smaller. You know, I think for me, I just have an easier time seating him in the Batmobile than the McFarlane figure. But overall, it's nice, it's decent, you know, it's a fair figure. Let's do one quick pass. So there's the kind of large, unattractive head that looks nothing like Michael Keaton. But like I said, if you just focus on the costume, it's clearly the 89 Batman, and that alone, I think, is worth the purchase. It's a great buck. You know, maybe find a custom head online that looks like Michael Keaton and swap it on here, or just, you know, swap on a better looking head. You know, because this one does look much more, this one looks more like animated Batman than, you know, anything else. Alright, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.